the more aggressive tempo in the start of this game, because I feel like even for Mythic Seal, you're not necessarily going to be able to convert it into kills just yet, but at least to manage the tempo would be a big part in how this game turns out.
Well, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn for game number 1. Mythic Seal versus Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. In a very brutal battle, I would say. You know, this is a battle for qualification to the knockout stage.
It's a very important match for those who no longer want to go down to the lower bracket and might have to risk their chance at getting into the knockouts. So taking a quick look at the emblems, I feel like Mythic Seals, even with this lineup, just really want to play aggressively. I mean, even for Zippy, that's a damage combination from the emblems we're seeing right there, together with the Master Assassin. Not the type of Claude to play it a bit more safe. Or to mostly rely on mobility, I'd say.
The emblems are very creative on the side of Mythic Seal here. Master Assassin, like you said, but to pull yourself together on Nico. So I guess he's expecting to flicker in more times this game than usual. We see the Inspire from Kun too. So again, expecting to just brawl it out. They want to battle. They want to fight Selangor Red Giants. OG Esports.
If you think about it, like, if they keep diving in, if they keep surprising SRG, then that might work for them, because SRG might have to set things up a bit if they want to start the fights with either the final slash or the setups from Yumes. But even these skills, right, they're gonna be great counter engages or counter setups as well. So Mythic Seals, they have to be careful either way.
Turtle 1 will spawn in the game. Kon has rotated to the mid lane. Nico gets 4-2. A bit of prio more from Mythic Seal. Boye doesn't decide to go up top to take the mini wave to get level 4. Yumes is very close to level 4. Traction pulse over to Kun, final slash!
Oh, they committed it right in front of Kun, and he will get bursted down. Cram gets first blood, but will Nico also survive? Gets to at least use the Crimson Beacon and the Flicker to reposition himself. But Cram, will he get punished this time? There's a knockup coming in from Boya, but he's still not level 4. Oh, the Phantom Execution gets denied from Ken, and they might have to walk away because things are not looking too good for them. Nico!
Gunned down by Stormy. A clean win early on. What a set from Yumes. Final slash to the back. Cram looking for the kill. And now it's a reset over for the Vengeance. Kun, can he survive Yumes?
This is such an action-packed early game first turtle for SRG. Even when Mythic Seal seemed like they wanted to fight, and they literally did dive in because that's what we expected from them. It was just punish after punish, resulting in this early 3-0 for SRG.
Oh my Lord.
Luckily enough, the Roger wasn't necessarily part of it, but still, it's Stormy who's looking to be currently activated right now.
It's a 3-minute turret take up top. I thought they would get the gold shield, but that's it. No, they get a full turret. Cram and Stormy. Oh, that is such a massive win for SRG. Now, it was already big, but that multiplied it. Now they have prio all the way for Turtle 2 as well. Look at that gold lead for the mid lane. It's already tough, by the way, as a Juicin to be down 200, 300 gold against a carry mid like Kimmy. Now that you're down 800, 900 gold, it's, I don't know.
I mean, I wonder what the call was, because Boye, as you mentioned, didn't get his level 4 yet. But he was already standing there trying to at least get some information in the turtle pit. So it felt a little impatient from Mythic Seal because they didn't have the full set of utilities or resources yet that could probably give them some sort of advantage in that fight, but they still decided to position themselves in that way, which gave easy access to SRG.OG to commit to the fight, knowing that they also were somehow ahead. And now they're the ones limiting the movements from Mythic Seal, potentially might even try to deny or even disturb Ken in his farming. And this is what you don't like to happen as Mythic Seal, because you know the conditions of your lineup, and if you're the ones being constantly dived, then you're not able to do it anymore.
And you really don't want your CC to be behind. Same thing as the juice in. Now Cram again walks up. The conceal used up by SRG. They're just throwing resources at this point. They know they have the dub in their hands when it comes to neutral objective battles. Unless Mythic Seal pull off a crazy steal, but Yums is scouting so well, and Ken won't find the angle. It's free. Oh, final slash!
Oh, they don't even care about Boye up top. They're going after Kun, forced to use the Vengeance, but that's gonna be enough. Innocent did join that, so probably it was a way for Mythic Seal to get some trades, courtesy of Zippy in the bottom lane, but that doesn't change the fact that things are looking too good for them. They're after this important objective in the mid lane, which is the tier 1 turret.
Their mid clear is pretty bad without the Lancelot. He's going up top to farm up, and Mythic Seal have lost a turret. It was a turtle for turret down below. It was okay for Mythic Seal, but now that the mid lane turret falls as well, SRG, again, get immense value, but somehow find themselves in a position where they're not as far behind. I think it was 2.4, 2.5k, so they did drop it down a bit, but it also just could be because Selangor Red Giants' jungler Skies hasn't cleared any of his jungle creeps yet. So now that he is doing it, it should be back to where SRG started with the lead.
Yeah, and I feel like in this situation, you'd have to think twice about whether or not you actually want to go for the setups, if you actually want to look for the pickoffs, especially as Boye, because even earlier, yes, he's able to somehow stand in front of the members of SRG, but none of his other teammates can do the same. It actually feels like Mythic Seals are quite hesitant at this point, but that might be the best way to go. If they feel like they don't have enough resources yet, they're probably gonna wait a bit more for Zippy to get the items, because I mean the backline axis is there either way, but you have to be wary of the potential ways that SRG can cancel you out if you intend to go for those dives.
And turrets are falling like flies for Mythic Seal. Their turrets, SRG, sieging so well, utilizing the strong arm early game composition to get everything they want and to snowball out of control. So far, 5 objectives taken, 3 structures, 2 neutral, and there's no response by Mythic Seal. They got a turret down below, but that's about it now. Crown with the final slash. Good shot, boom.
Didn't connect onto Boye, so that's one resource already down for SRG.OG. Kun, though, already using the curtain call and the yo-yo blitz. Cram gets trapped in the middle of 3, but it's Boye up against 3 members of SRG as well. It seems like he's bought enough time. However, Mythic Seal are still not able to convert anything out of this, and instead it's Innocent who gets to find the kill.
Good scratch down and an amazing front to back by SRG. Cram was the MVP in that fight. Yes, Innocent got the kill, but you put your eyes on Cram. If you see a replay of what happened, you saw how Cram 1v4'd, got away without utilizing Flicker, so he still has that resource to use in the next team fight. That big final slash Flicker can still come in, and he already won the team a team fight.
And I feel like that's my biggest concern right now for Mythic Seal. Boye, the way he's playing it, okay, that was close. Will they be able to punish Innocent though? Still not gonna be enough. The traction pulse will catch up to Zippy, however. My goodness, SRG, they're just so quick to respond and going back. Boye seems to be a little too, I don't know, far away from his teammates. Oftentimes, like, I understand the attempt or the intention of wanting to look for a setup, but the others just can't catch up. They can't keep up. They're being zoned out too well by Cram, as you've mentioned earlier.
So tough for Mythic Seal now as SRG are controlling all the tempo on the map. And a big concern for Mythic Seal is the fact that they also just don't have damage. Yeah. They isolated an Arlet. Now, Arlet is tanky, sustainable, but not that tanky to be able to usually survive a normal 4-man dive on him. Cram, that's a stun. Final slash into the traction pulse. Clean from SRG, and Mythic Seal can only just get to the tier 1.
Boye couldn't do anything.
Nope.
And imagine the first one who spotted him out was actually Stormy, which normally would have been very dangerous because Stormy was already right in front of him. He didn't have the flicker though, and there was no one near to really provide the follow-up, but that's, I guess, game sense. Game sense from Yums, doing his best to really scout wherever Ken could potentially come from, but does Mythic Seal want to attempt contest this upcoming objective though? I mean, in terms of levels even, if you look at it, right? Ken is surprisingly ahead of Sekai, so might they have a chance or would they want to risk it?
I mean, that's just the beauty of the Lancelot. You're so good at farming and maneuvering in jungles too that you get a lead either way when you're behind or ahead. That's why it's been able to snowball out of control in games that you get 2-3 kills early. And even in the games you lose, you still have impact. Nico, oh, Crimson Beacon. Final slash coming down as well though. Cram wants to go in. Lantern Flare.
Okay, but look at a fist break, fist crack! Catching
Zippy.
Kun, Ken gets to dash away though, but the blazing to it coming in from Z, dealing a lot of damage. But Boye is actually going to be the first casualty. Cram nearly takes out Kun, but it's not going to be enough. Innocent though, I feel like the moment they saw Innocent, they felt like they had to somehow walk away.
Whoa.
Zippy still wants to go for it.
A greedy move that he has to pay with his life. CP walks up, thought he would have the BMI in time, but needs to respect Stormy and that mobilization. It was an attempt on the steal too. Ken didn't want to fight for longer here because he wanted to get an angle to go for the retry steal, but unfortunately he timed it wrong, and I guess Skies is just way too clean with it. Look at this, the gamble by Ken, throws out the Thorn Rose, it becomes a 50-50 on the retry. Skies held down the composure of the Sky Prince. Zippy, yeah, we see that one more time. That's a Crimson Beacon as Cram walks up. Ken?
Yep, Cram gets to find Ken, but will still be able to puncture his way out of danger. But that was a very interesting decision made by Zippy there. I assume he knew that there were other members of SRG, but he probably didn't expect that they...
He thought he could tap the BMI before that came out.
That they could hold him down before he got to return to the BMI. So now Mythic Seal in a very difficult spot, still at 0 kills for this entire game. And SRG.OG might just get to access all of their holy shields, or better yet, even take down an inhibitor turret away from Mythic Seal.
Look at the build, folks, for you guys who want to play the Roger in the gold lane. Oh, Traction Pulse, bringing Kun back. CP's holding. The Lord will be cleared out here with the help of the Holy Shield.
That was already half HP for Kun, by the way, but the final slash connects onto 2, forces out the Crimson Beacon. They didn't need to do much, but Mythic Seal already burned so many of their resources just to get away. Ken trying to defend, doing his best, but they're just gonna settle for that inhibitor turret.
So clean. Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. Just go with the classic. Take the base turret in the far lane, set up for the next neutral objective, and back away. There's really no unnecessary risks here from SRG. They can play it as clean as they can. 7-0, by the way. Look at the damage dealt for Cram. 34,000 and 620 damage. This is why the Fredrin Arlet combination is just so prio. Unless there's a Phobius open, and that's why SRG, they've done better housekeeping. They've banned out the Phobius, they've set up for this, and Mythic Seal just seems like they didn't really have a response to it. Yeah. It looked like we were building to a response, but the last 2 picks were more of like a, aight, let's get more dive, instead of actually responding to this crazy threat that is the Arlet.
There's no one stopping SRG.OG from diving in, from doing their thing, and to be fair, this has been a relatively quiet or even cautious game from Innocent. It's not the type of Roger who just keeps going in. It's more of the cleanup type of Roger, which is why Mythic Seals, it seems like they just try to do so much, burn so much of their resources even before these crucial heroes of SRG.OG get to join the fight, but now they might actually try to do something else. Ken spots out Stormy there, tries to go for him, but there are too many members of SRG trying to protect him at that point.
Brute Force breastplate there for Ken. So he is going to go for the hybrid build. Should have enough damage to start to threaten a few of the SRG members. But that I'm also confused about because Innocent already gets a rose gold now. Kun walking up, curtain call down already.
Oh, they come in from both sides in an attempt to surprise SRG, and they might have successfully did. Forced the appraisers right out of Sekai's, and they actually take him out. That's the jungler of SRG.OG.
Mythic Seal are finally on the board after 14 minutes in the land of Dawn. What looked to be a stomp, one-sided for SRG, is now turning things around. Traction pulls in the final slash.
Oh, but they bring him back. There's no way for him to get out. But Zippy and the damage from the Blazing Do It might be enough. Innocent, though, this time around, he also wants to join the fight. It's a double kill for him. Half man, half beast indeed. Nico and Ken are the only ones alive, but they can still potentially make something out of this. Stormy trying to deal with Ken, but it's a disengage for now.
A 5,000 gold lead now. Selangor Red Giants, OG Esports are left with. They had a massive lead, 7-0. You would not expect a team fight to go the way that it did. Mythic Seal are somehow fighting back.
Yeah.
With way less resources, with a wave down below that they have to constantly clear out, and now they send Ken over, but it's only to deal with one wave. There's another big Superman wave coming down to the bottom lane. I think they're going to have to send Zippy there. Yeah, Zippy takes it, and SRG have a window that is opening, but will be closing very soon. Will they utilize it to get the Lord?
Okay, they're holding on to it for now. Nico already using the Crimson Beacon, a conceal
Boye.
from Boye as well. He seems to be looking for a target, but everyone's just sticking together. So the conceal's over for now, but Mythic Seal, they're doing a great job at holding the Lord. At this point, ever since they did that somehow of that sandwich play,
Yeah.
SRG, they seem to be a lot more cautious now. Oh, Stormy though, right in front of Boye, already forced to use the Way of the Dragon. So could this be it? Innocent catches up again!
Signature pick, a Lycan pounce, time to perfection for Innocent. Boye, final slash, dodge away from the Shunpu, but the follow for the Vengeance comes through, and that should be it for the attempt of Mythic Seal on the steal on Lord. SRG, this innocent guy.
This innocent guy.
Half man, half beast.
It went downhill the moment they got to Axis Ken. It was Ken and Boye who were always together
beautiful.
anyway, but the Lycan pounce, the chase. We've seen so many unique interactions with the Lycan pounce, just catching up to anyone, but this was the most unfortunate one, especially for Mythic Seal in this game. And now they've taken out 2 inhibitor turrets even before the Lord gets to march down in their base.
And now Mythic Seal are back in their base, but while we were focused on the replay, a base turret in the mid lane actually fell down. So that's another big super minion wave that will be coming down with the enhanced Lord minions. Rose Gold Meteor. That's a Rose Gold dog for Krem. Okay, has the Immortality tool. He has that Fury Hammer. At this point, I would just personally build it towards 100 Strike or Blood Hepties. Can do damage, Krem.
Whoa, Krem actually catches up. Traction Pulse won't connect, but Boye already using the Jeet Kundo. The other members of Mythic Seals just trying to deal with the Lord for now, especially Zippy, but Stormy, he has his high set on Zippy. Will they actually defend this though? They're somehow able to deal with the Lord and Krem. He's looking very low, but still gets to catch the final slash.
Immortality down already. Now to BMI forward with a blazing duet. Zippy able to flicker up, but instant goes to the Lycan pounce. Now it's an all-out brawl as Ken goes to the side, stacking up onto the minion waves. As now Boye walks up again. That Vengeance almost killed Stormy. Mythic Steel hold again.
It somehow took long enough for SRG.OG. Krem, he tapped so much damage, and Sekai's as well. I feel like that was enough time for Mythic Seal to actually capitalize on the way they were already near the base. They had their base turret right there, and that their damage dealers were already farmed up. So they've extended this fight yet again, 18 minutes into this game. Even despite that very dominant start from SRG, 0 kills for Mythic Seals up until the 11-minute mark or so, but now things have completely changed. We're already at equilibrium.
In terms of items, in terms of the gold advantage, I agree with you. There's not really that big of an advantage anymore for SRG, but the lane dominance is definitely still for SRG. They have those 2 base turrets, and fortunately for them, it's still the far lane, so they can still play with that. But yeah, they don't really have anyone that can stay in the side lane to capitalize on that fact. It's more of a forced error. Ken walks up, Boye is there too!
Oh, the final slash, but then he gets to isolate Innocent! Gets the dash away, however, but Ken is the first to fall. Blazing to it also already committed, but the damage, you can already see it coming. Stormy! Why was he there? Now Nico goes in with the Crimson Beacon. They tried to chase after Boye though, but Innocent and Sekai's, they have to keep themselves alive.
They will be able to. Good run away now. Innocent has the GDS too, so that's additional movement speed, but now they're gonna go for the cut onto Krem. No, they have to play it safe. It's an Evolved Lord that is spawned in the game. If they lose here in a team fight, if they get wiped here, they're done. They have to go back to the waves to manage it for Ken to respawn back in time. And again, Mythic Seal, they've just been taking gambles every single team fight, Ken has been going for some big plays with Boye, and so far, it has not worked out. The one time it will, or the one time it can in the future, it will be bad for SRG, but that's why now they're just going to go for the blitz on the Lord while they have the advantage.
Oh, they're trying to burst it down. Final slash committed onto Nico. There's the Crimson Beacon though, and Zippy, he'll try to contest it, but just in time, the Appraiser's Wrath and the Retribution will secure the Lord. But will they still try to engage in a fight? Traction Pulse already committed. Stormy is also back in the game. So they just steal away the purple buff, and now they go back to defending.
And the Lord will spawn instantly into the mid lane. Mythic Seal, yes, they weren't able to get the Lord. It was SRG with a massive win again around the neutral objectives. But Mythic Seal with that fight, they kind of forced SRG to not clear the waves in the side, to not set up for the wave. It's an Evolved Lord though, so they could just fight with it. Let's see how Mythic Seal defend this one. Conceal already. Yo's looking for the play. Stormy gunning them down. Lord held by Nico.
Oh, they go for Kun instead. Meanwhile, Ken and the other members just try to deal with the Lord. They don't make anything out of the fist break, fist crack. So that just allows Mythic Seals to defend this game once again.
Again, that's what I was saying. For the people back at home, Mythic Seal, yes, couldn't fight for the Lord. Ken was still down. He had to respawn in the game for them to have a chance at out-retreating Skies. But they went in for the fight. They stopped them from going in to capitalize. And now Ken, oh, Cram goes to Final Slash.
Oh, they fight Zippy. He's forced to retreat for now, but Ken still goes for the other members of SRG.OG. They might have to escape for now because Mythic Seals are running him down.
Kun gets a kill on Stormy. Kun now going on Crime and Mortality down for Skies as they go and pounce on him. Innocent will be able to recall. Kun still in the 1v1 as Rose Gold Meteor gets popped in. Cram, can he win in the 1v1 against a CC? It doesn't seem like it's possible. Innocent is waiting in the bush, and that might actually stop it from recalling. He stops it again. Oh no, Kun still there, holding his ground. Innocent, he's walking back into the jungle. It's not safe enough. This battle is going on for so long, but take a look at Mythic Seal. Innocent going for the end.
He's trying to make a play here, but he's up against 3 members of Mythic Seals already marching down the mid lane, and there are people from Mythic Seals to actually defend it. After 21 minutes, Mythic Seal turned things around.
Selangor Red Giants, OG Esports, by all means should have destroyed Mythic Seal with a 7-0 lead, a 7,000 gold lead, everything going to them in the early game. But I guess that's why they are mythical. The seal is in place and they have found a way.
You can always count on teams from Myanmar to deliver shocking outcomes and results in the international scene. Miracle, tell me, this feels so much like we were watching the MSL Grand Finals yet again. Just when you think they're down, they find a way to turn things around, mainly built around, well, 3 things: the curtain call of the CC, Zippy and Ken staying alive, and Nico being Nico on that signature juice in at this point.
Just the read as well, by the way, the communication, crisp, clean from Mythic Seal, the reaction.
Yeah.
Like here in the early game, really in the replay, you're just gonna see SRG. It was a stomp show. It was SRG completely outclassing Mythic Seal, and we were even doubtful of the draft. We were like, all right, Mythic Seal, you've got a draft where it's like, it's so hard to pull off. It's incredibly hard, but when you do it, you see the reward. You don't get rewards like that without a risky comp like this.
I mean, I knew that the Dark Horse thingy runs in their blood, but
the Dark Horse thingy, yes.
The Burmese Dark Horse thingy. The Dark Horse thingy.
But like, it's different now. It's no longer a lower bracket run we're seeing even. It's literally comeback after comeback in a single series.
Yeah, folks, the Selangor Red Giants are the defending champions of MSC, and they dominate a majority of the game. Mythic Seal somehow pulled through. This is the first time I've ever seen a team willingly give up map control to just beat their heads against the wall of, we will always contest objectives, and still somehow win the game through sheer force of will and defense. Mythic Seal, wherever you are, you need to give Mythic Seal a round of applause.
That was a very good game of MLBB.
Yes.
Not in a normal way, right? Because I think in the past, the way that we've seen MLBB games is like, all right, the PHPH macro game, the Indo micro game. This was a mix of both, and also just mythical fights going
Yeah.
on. Dude, how they hold on to an Evolve Lord? Like they
don't know.
defended that like it was nothing.
And look at Boye, he's 063, but all
Yeah, dude,
this.
the chat was literally calling the Cho dark system. Everyone's like, bro, what is this Cho? Ha ha ha. And now Boye gets the last laugh.
Yeah, he's like, I still got the win, guys. 063. That is the KDA of MVPs.
Oh, man.
But look at the KDA of Nico and Zippy. 3-1-6, 2-2-6 for Zippy. And they were two of the major conditions as to how Mythic Seals stay alive. You also really gotta appreciate how Mythic Seals, especially in that second to the last Lord push, where they managed it in such a way that they split themselves.
Yeah.
They sent two guys to pull the Lord away from the base as far as possible. The other three members of Mythic Seals were like, oh my, Yum set us up, but you can't push with the Lord. Your Lord's dead. You spent too much resources trying to kill us.
Yeah, I think it happened a lot of times. That great decision making in terms of pulling the Lord to the side and assigning the right person to deal with it and the others to deal with the other members of SRG2. And I don't know why it feels like there was a bit of panic from Yums because there was the conceal during that last sequence or their last attempt to actually win with the Lord Siege. But he just settled with Kun, and Kun on the CC is someone who could just bounce off or out of the wall.
Yeah.
So they weren't really able to convert that into a kill, which eventually for Mythic Seals seemed like a signal for them to just go for it. They were able to fight back against SRG, and we did point out the triple flicker battle spells from them as well. I feel like that helped a lot in terms of their chasing against SRG.
Yeah, I think they also got to use it in some ways to sort of bring Innocent into riskier positions, especially once they've already been locked in by the Lycan bounce. They would flicker back. Although I feel like those scenarios were just quite rare and few. I think now we have to talk about what happened there at the end, where Innocent decided to take that big time risk of, instead of going home and defending, he just went ahead and tried to go for the split push, which I feel like was the right call. Because if he went back home, it'll be 3 members that he'll be up against. He's not going to be able to defend that. Mythic Seals made the right call also to just tell Nico, dude, go back home, please.
Yeah,
defend.
that's the thing. They didn't tunnel vision into like bringing all of their members in the mid lane and just forcing it through because the others could do it anyway. So I like how they were still aware enough to let some other members defend, because whatever you say, the waves, they still do favor SRG.OG. And that was when Innocent was clearly unable to win out on that intention, on that decision of him trying to win by split push.
They had the kill lead, they had the neutral objective lead. Guys, by the way, Mythic Seal got 0 neutral objectives. That was 0.
Yeah.
No turtles, no lords. There were 6 in total in this game, and they didn't get a single one. You know what? That's my hot take of the day. We don't need objectives.
Oh my god.
You only need one major objective. The enemy base. That's it. You can get the Lord, but
no neutral objectives.
no
There you
neutral
go.
objectives. All right. No, but yeah, it's like, this is why the first 10 minutes of this game, I will admit this, frustrated me. Watching how Mythic Seals play, it's like, why are you guys heavily contesting objectives? You can go ahead, push that bot lane, which in their point of view is their top lane, so that they have more minion wave push there, because you can see the members of SRG giving up control there, just letting the minions push that. But then it all worked out for them in the end somehow. This perplexes me, and now I am more terrified of Mythic Seals as a team and a concept. Because how can a team that willingly gives up objectives tell me win a game of Mobile Legends like that against the defending champions?
That's up to Eterna, man. She has to ask the questions. That's not our job.
Let's ask Eterna.
Like, Eterna's got to ask that question if they win, okay? Because we saw a mythic comeback in game 1.
Mythic comeback.
We'll see if SRG can pull off an immortal comeback to reverse sweep this game, because, again, this is high-stakes situation. I don't know how to answer that question, remember. I'll be honest with you. Even with the shakes, I still couldn't think about it. I was like, I don't know. I can't explain it. They won MLBB by throwing the fundamentals out of the arena.
How they handled this, it was great. Playing around the curtain call, drawing them to as far as they could away from the base.
Yep.
You can't. Dark Horse for a reason at this point. Undeniable. Mythic Seals. Wow.
Well,
I feel like Ken really does want to
XBTR,
challenge
by
the
the way.
guys.
Oh, wrong Ken. Sorry.
No, it's a different
Okay.
Ken.
Different Ken.
Close enough.
He wanted to save my boy so
He
bad.
is my boy, though. That's my boy.
Yeah. He's been rooting for Ken since 2022.
Everyone is his boy, but yeah.
You're my boy, Ramon.
Thanks, bro.
It's just, I am in a state of never-ending shock.
Yeah.
Ever since yesterday, ever since day 1, even in day 3, a single day in the group stage just cannot go by without something as unique as this happening.
Yeah, we always get surprises one way or another. Whether it's a series, whether it's a single game, or multiple individual games. So now at this point, no matter what Mythic Seal's draft is gonna look like,
I'm not gonna say anything.
I'm not gonna say anything. They're the team that breaks expectations in the best and worst way possible.
I mean, that's what both of these teams want, right? They want
Mythic
to
Seal.
exceed and beat expectations set by everyone towards them.
Yeah.
And Mythic Seals are doing a very great, good, beautiful, impressive, majestic, mythical job.
Yeah, we're running out of adjectives here.
Dude, they... Let's get to game 2. I just want to see game 2
I
at
just
this
wanna
point.
see
Like,
game
dude, do you
2.
see that? Like,
I wish I could just yell out to Mythic Seal. It's like, hey, how'd you guys win?
yeah, well...
Well, they have their headsets on,
Eterna, that's
so
up to you. Go, just... Hey, request.
Yeah.
Don't ask the question. Yell. So if you interview Ken, hey, how did you win? It's like, dude, that... Oh, my Lord.
Let's skip the pleasantries and just
Yeah.
Honestly, we are reacting this way because that is one of the most clippable, covered games of all time. That was
Good luck.
unprecedented.
Good luck to the Clippers.
Good luck to all the Clippers out there, all our content creators.
Crazy.
Break that down. That is really good. Head into game number 2. Now, at this point, I can't even criticize the draft
I don't
anymore.
wanna see-
No, because we actually liked SRG's draft a bit more than... So it's like... And we actually didn't like Mythic because it was like, oh, super gambly, high risk, high reward.
It's too difficult. You still make it work.
It's not from Mythic Seal. They were like, difficult.
mean?
What's that?
Yeah, this draft
Not in
is
the
easy.
Burmese dictionary.
Yeah, we just extend the game, what, 17, 18 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we somehow beat them in their own game. You know, that's all
Give
part of the plan.
every neutral objective.
Give every neutral objective.
And what was that? All their wave clear in the end was just on Zippy, but it worked.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
Zippy
another great point.
It's 2 heroes, Claude and Dexter.
No, that's true. I think that's one analytical point we missed out. Claude is actually 2 heroes in 1. So SRG, we're at a numbers disadvantage
Wait, what about Roger?
He's one dude that can transform.
into
It's different.
another dude. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
different.
it's
It's not like the wolf is like, hey, wolf form, go out there. It's like, hey, no, it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It's actually not a wolf form, it's a gun form. Where does the gun come out? How do you... he transforms into a gun wolf.
Huh?
It's a gun wolf. It's not just a wolf. The
For the
gun
Transformer
appears from...
skin?
The gun appears from nowhere, right?
No, he always has that. This is how crazy that first game was. We're at this point of analytical debate.
Wait, sorry.
Because even
When he goes human form, the gun appears
yes.
from nowhere.
Oh yeah, and where does the gun go when he becomes a
Exactly.
werewolf?
Oh.
Buntan. That's a question for you in the lore.
Okay.
So how's the weather today? what would you do with $1 million?
No, I swear, I feel like...
Thank you for bringing
Thank
up the
you.
draft.
Okay.
We need to just...
Thank
Let's go!
you.
Let's go, come on, all right. Okay, same things. At this point, no matter what Mythic Seals draft with, just expect that they can win with it.
Because like I would have said maybe that's why the Roger isn't being picked as much, but I can't say it was a bad game for the Roger.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game for any of the picks of SRG. I think in terms of like quote-unquote bad game, you can say is Cram, but it's not a bad game.
It's-
naturally you put
Yeah.
yourself in dangerous positions because you're an R-lot that's setting up for the Badang
Yep.
to go for the follow-up. So no one in SRG had the bad, well, except for that one time Stormy jetpacked into front of like 3
That-
dudes.
except for that one
That was
time.
one thing, but that's
thing.
one thing.
He had to fix his headset after that.
Yeah, I was like, that was one thing.
That's what I've been seeing, though, noticing a lot in MSC 2025 here. The Kimmies, whenever they go Purify, just seem so awkward. Curtizi yesterday, and then today it's Stormy with the Purify. So it's almost like you kind of need the Flicker, even though, yes, you have good
Yeah.
mobility. It's another tool that grants you safety because you're so vulnerable, you're so squishy.
Yeah, because it seems like a bunch of Kimmies now use the jetpack as
Yeah.
a means to engage and go
yeah.
forward instead of escape. So maybe, yeah, that's something that we could consider as well for the Kimmy discussion. And I think the bans, though, are still very similar compared to game number 1.
For any marksman, though, like everyone would argue, just don't dash in or don't jet back in. So,
You know, there is that too.
so like, okay, maybe they should think twice about those decisions. But so far, it's just exactly the same, except maybe not the Uranus ban. They take out the R-Lot instead of the Uranus. So.
Oh. So I think we're gonna get Sakai-san Assassin at this point.
Oh, if it's a Uranus Prio for SRG?
Because the R-Lot ban, I'm thinking, is like, okay, we're not gonna go for the R-Lot Fred combo. Or maybe don't lean too hard into it.
Are you a fan of changing like that much of the draft though? Like, because this is going to be an entirely different one for SRG. Because I feel like in that game, it wasn't really, an outdraft situation. They kind of won. They won hard in the early game. It was just the clinical discipline and also now they have the read on Mythic Seal of what they want to do. But it would be a gamble to go for the same draft again, to be fair.
Exactly. Although usually, maybe because of just my philosophy on things, it's a little bit too much of a change. Like, it wasn't broken. Again, the game 1 draft of SRG was not broken. It's just that Mythic Seal, they outplayed you. But then you can repeat that game multiple times and SRG will still be able to replicate those same results for the first 10 minutes of the game of them dominating.
Yeah. So I wonder if they... Okay, there you go. They pick the Jushin instead.
That's a good pick. Okay. Because they take away a very strong pick for Nico, and it seems like Mythic Seal know how to play around the Jushin very well.
Now, so Mythic Seal, did he still go for the Lancelot? Because at this point, I feel like when the Yisenshin is taken out, the Lancelot is very, very prio.
Yes.
Usually, maybe you go up against the Phoveus, you don't want to, pick up the Lancelot, but again, Phoveus has been banned out. But the question is, Lancelot or Joy? Because it's Ken.
Yeah.
That's the big question now. Do they still want to go for the signature pick, or do they go with what is in the meta now?
Yeah, if they decide to go for the signature pick, oh no, they're still going to go towards the Lancelot, and this time a Moskov. Are they expecting that SRG is going to go something like the Fanny or the Joy? That's usually one of the reasons why you rush the Moskov.
I guess, I guess that's what they're expecting, because usually we do see the Fanny ban against Skies. They have left it open. The CC gets picked up with the Joy, so it's a good read by Mythic Seal. They're picking up the Moskov now.
They've revealed so much already. I mean, both of these teams, it's such a straightforward way of drafting. It's so honest for them. Not unless Mythic Seals in this part of the draft decide to pick up a flex hero.
Yeah, I think I'll ride on that idea too. Good flex.
No.
Okay, that's not flex anymore. That's clearly a mid lane. Unless Kimmy Rope. No, no, we're not going to see that.
Yeah. So far, so good, I would say, for both these teams. Mythic Seal, again, I think sticking true to their identity from game number 1. Very greedy lineup. All of them need a lot of resource, a lot of gold.
It's a lineup that, if it were any other day, I would be, okay, revealing a lot already in the first phase. But like now, after game number 1, I'm probably not gonna say that, because one of the ongoing discussions has been that damage, as long as you have more damage, things are gonna be better for you, I guess. And maybe that's what Mythic Seals are trying to bank on, because Moskov, Kimmy, and Lancelot look like a lot of damage.
Yeah, you already have a triple carry set up at this point. So I think it makes sense that if they wanted to lean in on this idea that they save their roam and EXP for last, because you get to adjust as much as possible. Clearly, it's SRG having to adjust to the 4th pick first. But then that means whatever the 5th pick of a Mythic Seal can be an absolute checkmate pick up against what SRG brings out. Heroes such as the Gata Kacha are still on board. We might get a surprise, and maybe this time it's Hume's turn to play the Cho, because, well, seeing what you're up against Mythic Seal, if you have the Cho and Joy together around the center of the map, that's a little bit better for the pickoff.
Actually, they banned the Gacha, So does this mean Mythic Seal are going for something like a glue in their composition? Maybe the Lapu Lapu that we saw from day 1, when we saw Kun on the Lapu Lapu.
Glue, Hilda, but there's a CC though, but...
Yeah. Oh, SRG. Wow. Consider that the Franco could have come up for Boye.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm just thinking like harder, tougher tanks, really, but up against that CC, what can you bring to the table?
Not even the Kufra looks okay. There's a CC on the other side.
In before SRG picks up Lolita or something.
I mean,
At this point, I just want to enjoy what they want to go for, right? Like, because what? They banned the Gato. They go, oh
Okay.
my Lord.
Again.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Yeah, I mean, hey, it worked in game 1.
KDA is just a number.
KDA is irrelevant, ladies and gentlemen, all right?
Oh,
That is
magic damage over magic damage.
A lot of damage.
And the Hilda. There you
Hilda
go.
Rome against the Cho. Oh, this is gonna be so scrappy.
Yeah, this is so SRG are trying to double down on that, right? They think,
Yeah.
all right, Mythic Seal just want to brawl. Let's try to fight them out. Let's try to out-mechanic them. Mythic Seal, last pick in XP. What would enable? I honestly feel like the glue.
Yeah, the glue.
Yeah,
maybe.
it's like
be
the last
solid
best
here.
bet because there's that. I think that out of all the EXP laners available, that's the only one that can match what CC brings to the table. Because the curtain call is such a powerful ult for this kind of playstyle. All that brawl that's going to happen. That yeah, I think it's just glue.
Unless they go for surprises again.
What's a crazy XP that could work here?
Next board? No.
Freya.
Oh, no.
No, you just go all
Freya.
damage.
I think you need a bit more crowd control here.
Yeah,
in
you
this ladder,
do.
right? Engage. I think mainly engage. What do you, That's not really in. Well, in a way, it is. Falling Star Moon.
Okay.
Good against the Harith. Good against the Joy.
There is a lot of shields on the SRG.
Yeah.
It is pretty meta too. Hey,
Kind of anticlimactic, but it makes a lot of
it
sense.
does. It really does. There you go, Esmeralda. Okay.
All right. Okay. So that is the playing field for these two. Again, if you're only joining us now, Mythic Seal surprised selling our Red Giants by somehow, some way taking game number 1. That means they are at match point and they could be the first team to qualify for the knockouts. Or will SRG, the defending champions of MSC, force this to a game number 3? Mirko and Brigida, let's go.
Thank you, Renmar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to, again, the game. We're getting ready to get and jump into the game. Brig, what do you think about drafts this time? Last time you said, yes, very greedy lineup for the side of the Mythic Seal gang.
I feel like at this point, I'm just preparing myself for the amount of clashes we'll be seeing in this game. Earlier, it did seem like there were already a lot of clashes, but not a lot where Mythic Seal were able to respond early on. We saw how it took them a while to get their first kill on the board, so now I feel like it's a bit different. It's a lot more committed fights that can come from both of these two sides.
Well, here already a brawl in game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday in Group B, we saw the reigning world champions of MLBB get dropped down to the lower brackets in Group B. Well, now the defending MSC at Esports World Cup champions be thrown down to the ground in Group A.
Yep, that is going to be the question for now. Mythic Seals in the mid lane. There's a lot of pressure going on. I feel like the mid control is another thing we definitely will be having to look at. But before that, the emblems look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Even for Nico on the mid lane Kimmy, it wasn't anything like a pull yourself together emblem he used earlier on.
Yeah.
So
By the way, it worked. Yeah, pull yourself together, juice in last game. That was how they were able to gap close so well and also escape so many times against SRG. So now let's see. SRG are actually already pushing the tempo. Skies is walking up. Oh, doesn't get to steal it though.
yeah, Ken still gets it. But this is SRG literally pressuring Ken all over again, whereas Cram doing it, he's doing such a great job all alone. Forced Nico to provide some help even because of just how well he's been managing Kun on the EXP lane. So would contesting the first objective really be an option for Mythic Seal? Because even looking at Ken, Stormy and Yumes, they're just blocking his way.
Cram also just winning out on this lane against Kun. It's going to be very tough to get to the turtle. And again, just like in game 1, it'll be SRG to take the free first neutral objective. Skies picks it up, instantly rotates over to the purple buff. Hasn't used the retribution yet, so this should also be a steal. Quick by Skies.
Okay, this isn't something new to us. Mythic Seal, they do tend to let go of the objectives, but at least the difference now, I guess, is that SRG are yet to actually find kills or actually set up fights, which would amplify the advantage that they already have. So Mythic Seals, they're being very careful, but still, even when you look at their sides, it's not looking too good. Kun doing his best to survive, but that's going to be first blood for SRG.OG, just as we mentioned it.
Deja vu to game number 1. This is the 3rd minute rotation from Stormy into XP after getting Turtle. And they're going to get a whole lot of shots over to the turret. Will it be a turret take at the 3rd minute is the question
Again?
now, just like in game 1.
Oh,
It's a bit too close to game 1 here. They almost get it done. All right, but it stays intact.
okay, so this is basically a repeat of what SRG.OG were able to do in the first few minutes of the game. So I wouldn't be so surprised if they're able to establish yet again a massive lead, a significant one at that, but they might have to be careful about giving those opportunities again to Mythic Seals. I feel like they want to rush things now in this game, especially considering the amount of team fight prowess that they have. So forcing fights might not be such an issue, but Yooms, instead, he'll be the one targeted here by the way of the Dragon Thorn Throws as well, committed onto him. But Boye, it seems like the pickoff took some time. Sekai's on the other hand too, found some kills, but that's a 2-for-1 trade so far. Maybe could be 3 kills, but there won't be enough damage from Kun, and there's a respo from Cram as well.
Yeah, good traction pulse. It's a kill traded in for a kill plus a turret in the bottom lane. Cram was able to get it down, so still very, I would say still advantages towards SRG. Yes, this does give Ken a bit more breathing room in the jungle. Uh-oh, Cram.
Oh, that's half HP for him. Another way of the Dragon converted into a successful pickoff. That's one member down for SRG.OG. Yooms also half HP, but Sekai's gains access to Ken and the other members, but will settle with Boye for now, but it's a double kill for Boye. Sekai's, will he be able to secure the objective? It seems like it's a no, it's a triple for Boye actually. What a redemption from him from game number 1, but Innocent making it just in time. Finds the kill onto Nico.
Gets the kill back. Mythic Seal again turned the gold lead around. SRG had the 2,000 gold lead, and now it's going to be the punish for Zippy, 2 up top. I'm trying to think of who... Yeah, obviously it's just worth it for Mythic Seal. It was an all-out win. They lost Nico, but that's about it.
But the biggest question of all, I mean, I understand. They just pour in all of their resources. I mean, who gets the last hit doesn't matter, I guess. But it all went to Boye. Like,
yeah,
Ken got none of those kills. I mean, got the objective. No, not even the objective.
It was Kun.
It was Kun.
Hey, man, Ken has taken the big brother role, as was said by him yesterday in an interview with Eterna. So that's part of the big brother role. You let your little bros pick up kills, pick up objectives. You just sit on the side being like, all right, brothers, you got it, right? And really for Mythic Seal, a win is a win, right? They still just want to equalize this goal lead, get a bit more time so that they can scale up into their mid to late game power spike, which is going to hit quite big. SRG are going to have to rely on Innocent now very early on. Innocent's still farming really, really well, so don't count him out. Don't count SRG out. They still have a... Oh, wait. Zippy's actually taking a shot. All right. Just gets away. That gold lead. There you go.
Yep.
Big one only on Innocent. Kun.
Oh. Is he actually gonna fight this? Yooms is here, but are they aware that Nico and Boye are as well? Get some vision because of Stormy. The way of the Dragon is committed on to Stormy instead, and Nico... There's the follow-up. It's not gonna be enough though, so... Yeah, I feel like SRG needs to really reset after this. We're seeing a lot more responses, reactive ones, coming in from them.
So for Mythic Seal, they've already done the tough job of getting the gold lead into an even standing here. Through team fighting, they've been able to get that. Now it's SRG's turn to try to turn things around.
Yeah.
But Mythic Seal have the hold on side lane at this point of the game. You got to remember that the Moskov will constantly be in the side lane. Mythic Seal could actually just give turtles and trade it for turrets.
Like they did in game number 1. And finally find a way to turn things around come late game. But Sekai's, though, successfully takes the objective. But this is going according to plan. If you're Mythic Seal, Boye, though, there's a lot of damage coming in from Cram. They might have to respect that, but a beautiful falling Star Moon and the follow-up damage coming in from Nico. They're able to deal with SRG, even with the limited manpower that they have. Oh, things might change this time, though, because Zippy might go in. Still won't. It's a... Okay, they don't risk it for now.
But again, Mythic Seal... The problem in game 1 was because they were just so far behind. They lost a bit too many fights in the early game that it was difficult to find any trade that was actually worth it, right? Like, turret for turtle is very, very even. Sometimes you would actually give the advantage to the turret. Game 1, they were too behind to get those advantages. They were just getting wiped and wiped every single team fight. Now it's a conceal hold up. Oh yeah!
But will they be able to make it though? Yums is doing a great job at zoning out Nico and Zippy. There's the Zaman Force also committed by Innocent, and it seems like Boye will be punished. So those are great responses coming in from SRG.
And again, folks, remember the triple kill from Boye. Innocent didn't just pick up a roamer. He picked up a shutdown on a roamer. That's massive for Innocent. A good bounty. Ken? Whoa! Starting to deal a lot of damage way earlier in the game compared to game 1. And again, to go back to the point before the team fight started, it's all about now being in a better position to come back, right? But it's for both teams now. For SRG, it seems like that game 1 has woken them up. The sleeping giants that was in game 1.
Yeah, I was supposed to say even for Kun, SRG seemed like they were having a hard time to deal with Kun right now. The Esmeralda seems like it came to a point where it's really tanky, but oh no, Boye gets isolated. Zippy will try to provide some help, uses the Spear of Misery, but Sekai's nearly catches up. Fortunately, he survives though, and could this be an opportunity for Mythic Seal? Crab is also very, very low. But there's an upcoming objective they might have to reconsider.
They're just splitting up the map. Ken doing a good job at trading on the other side of the map while SRG trying to get Prio down below. But I think he might be staying a bit too long. The rest of the team are here. Ken has a puncture. We'll be able to puncture out now. 1-2 gets taken down and the fight goes for SRG.
He indeed took too long. And just in time, SRG got the best possible pickoff, which allows them to secure this objective without any contest. Okay, I saw that in day number 1. It could have happened again, but at least it didn't. Zippy will settle with tier 2 turret down bottom.
Zippy, is he late to the recall? Oh yes, he is too!
They catch him even when he used the Spear of Misery. And that makes 2 kills for SRG and Daylord.
WSRG, they have read through the playstyle of Mythic Seal from game 1, constantly looking for trades instead of fighting in the first few minutes of the game to hold the lead down from being too out of control. SRG just make the quick rotations, they just stay decisive, and Mythic Seal were the ones to be overconfident in the bottom lane up top as well. Ken now, Innocent pops in his Zaman Force.
Oh, Innocent looks like he can deal with Ken even on his own at this point. Just dodging all those punctures and all those thorned roses. But now Mythic Seal, could they do what they did in game number 1 in defending and prolonging this game? Oh, Falling Star Moon won't connect. But that is gonna be the question. Because this time around, SRG, this is a 3K gold lead, and they have to make sure they don't repeat the same mistakes they did as well in game number 1.
Holy Defense already down in the mid lane. Now in the bottom lane, they are gonna go for the siege. Yums walks up, Holy Shield pop again. Ken walks up, Kun able to get away. Ken with a puncture.
That's a lot of damage coming in from Innocent. But somehow, someway, they're still able to hold on to their inhibitor turret. So again, Mythic Seal, they're back in the same situation of just trying to prolong the game. This isn't a Claude anymore, however. It's a Moskov and a Kimi. I feel like that's still a decent amount of wave clear if you're Mythic Seal.
Oh, Stormy!
What? Again? Wait, they actually find the kill!
That was so delayed. He ends up popping the Purify, and Boye goes into. Doesn't want to go. Doesn't actually get the proper angle. But yeah, Stormy, I think it was either like don't Purify at all or Purify earlier, right? I think that was just like a, unfortunate mistake from Stormy.
It's during these moments where Mythic Seal just find the turnaround. So SRG, they must have learned from these kinds of situations. They can't they didn't overstay in the base or near the base, but they were somewhere Mythic Seals could immediately or quickly access, because you still have to consider that Mythic Seals, their lineup, they're very high in terms of mobility. They have the Lancelot, they have the Cho, and most of the things start with the Cho or the Esmeralda. So heroes like Stormy should be in better positions if put in these kinds of situations.
So SRG still have the lead, still have the advantage when it comes to the side lanes too, remember, in this game. Just like they did in the last game, they have to stay clean. They cannot be making those kind of mistakes with one person overextending. And luckily for Stormy, the Purify will be up anyways in the next fight. So that won't be a big resource that he won't be able to utilize. Wave will be pushing up top though.
Oh, they don't use the Crimson Beacon, but the Lord is already down to half HP. Cram uses the Curtain Call and the Yo-Yo Blitz onto Kun, but Kun is just so tanky. Boye finds the kick onto Cram, but is that the right target? Ken dashes in, uses the Thorn Drones, will try to steal away the objective, but Sekai secures it for his team!
Uh-oh, Zippy caught in the bad spot now, able to go away. Yums with the flicker forward as Kun tries to run away the other side of the map. It's a Moskov versus everybody. I don't think he'll be able to survive, and it will be Yums with the swing of the War Axe to take him down. Mythic Seal lose the neutral objective and 3 members for a trade of Stormy.
It already looked like Kun was doing such a great job. Kun was doing a lot, got the attention of Stormy, but the change of targets, it was too fast. They decided to focus so much onto taking down Ken and Boye. They let Stormy, left Stormy alone. Could have been bad, but it was okay. But in the live cam, it seems like they're already approaching the base. Oh, it doesn't land. Ken gets the dungeon, finds the kill onto Innocent. SOD won't connect, however. Mythic Seal, again, find a way to deal with this for now.
Mythic Seal have found yet another angle to punish SRG. Yes, this is looking a bit too similar to game 1. I'll be honest with you. Like, in terms of the turret takes, it's mid and bot too. And the mistakes, you wouldn't expect a mistake like that from Innocent or an overextension from SRG like that after game 1, but you just saw it. They can, again, it just comes down to the reset. They've been better on the team fights too.
Okay.
So they just need to calm down. They gotta calm down. They gotta let a few of these fights go. It's fine, you know, in a 4v5.
Oh, Kun though, he's dealing a lot of damage. Phantom Execution connects onto Cram. SOD lands as well. Nico finds the kill. Sekai might be the next target, but fortunately has the dash. Mythic Seal, something just activates when they're in this point of the game.
As me and LaFell and you know from day number 1, they just need to be behind. Innocent walks up against Kun.
Okay.
It's alright, both these teams are just going at it, dude. Like, SRG really shouldn't have been in that position while Innocent was down, taking a 4v5 for no reason. There were no objectives up top as well. And it's the same for Kun. There was actually no reason for him to be up in the mid lane so far up there. But yeah, oh yeah, he might be falling next into. Look at the cut, look at the cut. They can actually, no.
No.
Okay.
This is the point in the game where you just cannot be seen. So like, there have been a couple of questionable decisions or positions from some of these members, but things will definitely change once we head into the next objective. But SRG, it does look like they want to make things happen even before the objective gets to spawn. It looks like they're scouting and checking wherever Mythic Seal could potentially come from. They're on the exact same opposite sides of the map though. So how will they capitalize on this situation? Stormy's up there. It'll take some time for him to get here, but
they want to blitz it.
Yeah, this is going to be good for SRG because Zippy will have to deal with the wave up top. Still has the SOD, however, but they're zoning out the members of Mythic Seals really, really well. Traction Pulse already committed. They catch Yums, might get to burn him down. SOD lands, they find it!
Cram now walking up. Oh, gets Carter's Spirit Misery out to Lethal Wanderer. What the hell? Boye with a way to dragon from out of nowhere. Zippy goes over to Spirit Misery. Ken walks over the puncture. Innocent has him on force.
They actually tried to take him down, but the damage is too much. Nico will have to reposition himself as well, while the other members of Mythic Seal just focus on working on the Lord, and they finally get it for themselves.
The seal that was placed in game 1 is activated in game 2. The seal is, every time we get past 16, I believe. Look at that Spirit of Misery, dude. How unlucky was Cram to be right there on the pin with the small lethal on the Spirit of Misery? Traction Pulse. Oh no, they baited out Innocent. Saman Force in the middle. Alright, they don't have Lord.
Okay.
Sorry, I was looking at live cam view.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, alright, let's go back to the fight. Boye too, man. This guy, he's a bit too explosive, right? Like,
just
when
the
they're
right
ahead,
amount.
you don't want him to do that. When you're behind, you want him to do that. Mythic should just do better from behind.
Okay.
You know what?
This is confirmed.
There you go. This is confirmed.
All our theories from
Yeah.
day number 1, I think this proves it
Yeah.
all. If they especially win this game.
Hey, Turner was a big hater of that, by the way. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Mythic didn't play from behind. Hey.
No, they just
proof.
adjusted. They just
Proof.
play. Nah, why am I on the same boat? No, because I don't do that to Eterna. But anyway, this is gonna be such a statement for them. If ever they're actually able to make things happen with this Lord. They're syncing up the waves. And SRG, if you look at their wave clear, let's see how they make it work. Already forcing out the Crimson Beacon. Innocent has the Zaman Force, however, but Cram! He's just getting shredded by Zippy.
Yeah, damage from Zippy is ridiculous. It pierces through the turrets too, so they gotta be careful. Mid lane base turret taken down now. They're gonna be looking to go up top. Boye is walking up. There's a cannon in too. Phantom execution to get the turret.
Okay. At least Boye didn't have the flicker yet, so they probably won't force anything. And that's exactly what they have to do maybe, because Mythic Seal are already in the lead at an advantage. They've equalized the turrets. And I think maybe this is a better development from game number 1, because Mythic Seal for game number 1 were able to turn things around up until the very last moment. But this time, they've left SRG with only a single inhibitor turret in their hands. So this looks like a much more manageable game for them when it comes to the objective fights.
Hold up. Cram's walking up, gonna be stunned up, and just pops in with a Crimson Beacon too!
Oh, that's a lot of damage, but who will be bursted down first? Sakai tries to reach for the targets from behind, but gets bursted down instead. Zaman Force also laid by Innocent, but it's a retreat for SRG after losing their jungler.
Skies went in a bit too far off of the team as well. Like, no one was able to really follow up. He dove in so deep, popped in the crown, was expecting, I think, Innocent to come in right there and then, right as he popped in Winter Crown, because that would have been a good combo, right? Then at least Skies wouldn't have died. 20 seconds on Skies. This could be Mythic Seal just pushing in. And like you said, Brigitte, yes, they only got 2 base turrets from Mythic Seal, but it's actually good for Mythic Seal here because the lane up top is the one that they got the base turret in. That's the far lane. 5 seconds on Skies. Mythic Seal could just force a fight right here now.
They're gonna try to burst it. But Innocent and Yumes, they might want to do something else. They're trying to look for other angles, but Boye, he has it covered. He knows exactly where they're trying to go from, but that buys them enough time to reset the Lord and allow Sekais to actually make it. Now, what is going to be the play for SRG.OG and Mythic Seals? Zaman Force already committed onto Kun. Might be the first casualty, not looking too good for Mythic Seals, but the damage from Zippy, you have to respect it! Knock up from the Jade Kunjo. Sekai somehow makes it out alive, but they commit onto Stormy instead. Nico finds the kill onto Stormy!
Zippy goes in, over to Cram. Now the damage coming down as well. As the Lancer Friend brings Boye back into the bush. Sky's walking up. Boye, sticking to Immortality. Zaman Force over. Boye taken down. Innocent with a kill again. 10! Gets a kill back on Cram, and it's back-to-back-to-back team fights.
2 for 2, and none of them will commit to the objective just yet. I have to correct myself. It wasn't Stormy earlier. But either way, Mythic Seal, I can't believe they're doing this. The defending champions, they are clearly struggling to find a way to end things quick, to hold on their lead, because it keeps getting snatched away from them by Mythic Seal.
We're at a stalemate, ladies and gentlemen. Mythic Seal and SRG just keep going at it. They have suffered a few casualties in the battle, but it's always even. 2 for 2, 1 for 1. There was one big fight for SRG, one massive one for Mythic Seal as well, but after that, it's just been trades after trades, and Nico is doing a whole lot of damage. This is the least accurate, lore-accurate Stormtrooper of all time.
That's such brave positioning. Oh, and I feel like Nico can afford to be a lot more brave now. Picked up the Immortality. So SRG will have to consider that if ever they want to look for a fight. But how do they deal with it now? From where do they expect to come from? Cram and Sekai's... Zippy!
Oh my God!
Zippy! They find Zippy! Will he be able to survive this? I think not!
What a read by Skies and Cram to hold their position up top, knowing that there might be a Moskov looking for the play. Now they want to collapse.
Oh, they're looking for the kills, but they have to escape for now. Kills might not be the way to go. Innocent finds Ken, and it's 5 members of SRG marching towards the base. They'll do their best to try and defend, to hold the minions on the side.
What?
But Nigo could only do so much, but actually, Kun buys some time, but at least SRG, they still have a wave marching down bottom. Nico's literally trying to make things happen, but he can't anymore. And we equalize the series right here.
SRG refused to go down like that. They turned things around yet again after a crazy back-to-back-to-back-to-back team fight, back-to-back lead. Welcome to MSC 2025 at the Esports World Cup. This is the level of play that we have.
That is the outcome we deserve. 3 games for what has been an absolute banger of a series so far. Just when we thought that the final seal would get broken, the Red Giants refused to be overshadowed. And what a replay of game number 1, except this time around, Mythic Seal were taking care of the map a little bit better, which is what triggered a lot of the difficulty points for SRG. The fact that they weren't now just having to find a way to outplay Mythic Seal in the objective fights, they now had to take care of their map as well.
There was so much, and it came down to just one moment there for the Moskov, right? Like, these games have come down to one big play, one little mistake from both these teams that end up being crazy for the other. Like, it's all about punishing little mistakes, and I think Mythic Seal, whenever they were ahead, would just make these mistakes. For some reason, again, the pattern stays true. They are a team that only works when they are behind.
It's the one big moment for Mythic Seal. That could have been one if the SOD got to steal away the objective. But yeah, I really agree. This game has mostly been a replay of what we saw in game number 1, only with a few more improvements from both teams, particularly Mythic Seals, because they've been more efficient in terms of balancing out or equalizing the game. They've been a lot more faster in terms of that, but same goes for SRG. I think a lot of times in game number 1, there were crucial errors, and we did not see as much of that here in game number 2.
Yeah. But it was one of those games wherein the few errors that you saw were very glaring. And I think that sets a precedent of where we find ourselves right now in the quality of the match that we're seeing, wherein those little mistakes actually look so massive because they're not giving a lot of give to each other. There's not a lot of room for mistakes, where that one mistake could just look like it's absolute game ending. For SRG.OG, I think this is where we're seeing a little bit more of their veterancy, the fact that they were reading Zippy's split pushes very well. 3 or 4 deaths on the side of Zippy came from the fact that SRG was like, wait, we know that the Moskov is here. Let's take him down.
Oh man, I would love to see the replay again of that moment, because I wonder if if it was just Skies dashing into the bush by mistake, it was accidental, or they actually made that read. Zippy too, though, he canceled the recalls a bit too many times up top. Like, he was holding that position, really wanting to punish if it was a solo Joy.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, it's already happened twice.
Even in the bottom lane.
Even the bottom lane, another one earlier in the game in the top lane. So at that point, Zippy should have just realized that I need to go back. They know what I like to do, split pushing and trying to threat a potential split push end.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the duration of the recall in that first moment down bottom, but I feel like he could have made it, but he decided to throw out the Spear of Misray instead, so that delayed him, or I don't know, that was probably a decision thinking that it was just Sekais who was trying to go after him, but I don't think
like 3 members.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever gonna happen anymore with SRG, because at this point maybe they just really respect what Mythic Seals are capable of doing, and so they'll send out more members as needed. They will, or I know they don't, but after what they've experienced, you just cannot underestimate anyone anymore in this team.
Item builds earlier, Innocent actually. So he goes for the Enchanted Talisman plus the Magic Pen boots a lot of times nowadays, especially in the early game. But once we get to the super late game, it seems like he actually sells the Enchanted Talisman and ends up buying the Sarlium Scythe. So I guess that could be a good question to ask Innocent. Like, what is it? Is the Enchanted Talisman just good in the early to mid? Why sell it late? For it turn out maybe later in the interview if they win.
Yeah, because I mean, generally, Enchanted Talisman does give you higher CDR, but it seems like there are more good things that come along with the Starly. Because at that point in the late game, you don't need that mana regen anymore provided by it. So maybe that's one of the things, and hopefully we can get Innocent's take on as to why he would go for that build path. But again, this is one of those games where despite the few glaring errors and of course the notes that we've put already onto Zippy and when to just go home, recall and finish that off instead, it was just a very good game by these two. Macro, great. Micro, those fights are really, really good. Boy, and now I feel like after what happened to his Cho in game number 1, it's like, all right, I get to show a few more things here now with my Cho. Able to time the Jeet Kune Do flicker and Wave the Dragon combinations very well. I like that he wouldn't always initiate with it. He would save it sometimes as a counter. It's just a lot more praise for these two teams now in this game number 2.
Yeah, I wonder if Boy wants to go for another Cho.
3 games, 3 Chos, you know? Last time it was Ken just playing Joy. Maybe now it's, he's also just played Lancelot.
Yeah, it's just Lancelot now.
He just really wants to stick to what works, I guess, for him. Now the question is, will they actually just take the Joy? Because he got what he asked for. Assassin battle. This guy's obliged in game number 2. And it worked out for SRG.
Yeah, and we also saw a lot, I think, so far in this series where the effect of having a juice in these long, stretched out, micro-centric fights, just how much utility she provides with that crowd control and the constant threat that she has with just bringing out the lantern flare, that we're gonna really have to look at the mid lane as the main contention point now for these two teams. Which heroes end up in the mid lane and which heroes end up in the EXP lane, because Cram, Kun, Stormy, and Nico feel like a lot of the focus of these fights.
Yeah, I mean, even for the first few minutes of the game, we saw just how dominant Cram was in his lane. It took a while for Kun to actually pose a threat up against SRG whenever he tried walking towards them, but this was the moment. This was that decision which changed the game.
You notice something, remember?
Shouldn't have cancelled that. I think it was the same thought. He thought it was just Sakai's.
Exactly. He thought it was a solo Joy, thought he could punish the Joy after using all of that and the electrifying beats. That's why he popped in skill 2 right as Skies walked into Bush. And then he saw Cram and he was like, oh no. Yeah, a bad read, unfortunately, for Mythic Seal, for Zippy's Mythic Seal Zippy gold lane. And it ended up being the crucial mistake to send SRG into a 1-1, to send both of them into, now, a best of 1.
I think this is going to be a very tough call for who's going to be calling which side they go on for game 3. Please remind me on this.
The loser usually, so Mythic Seal get to choose
Mythic
sides.
So now it's a tough call.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue refining on the fact that you've been drafting from the red side, or are you going to flip the script and show up with a different strategy of how you draft on the blue side? But then if they go for that, then that changes the dynamics of how they've been drafting, because so far, again, they've been drafting their comforts, that strategy of playing from behind. How will Mythic Seal fare as a team going into game number 3 if ever they go blue side, if they decide to play for the early game, if they decide to go more aggro? Because even historically in MSL, a lot of their wins came from the fact that they were coming from behind.
Exactly. And that's why I'm pretty concerned for Mythic Seal right now, because fundamentally the better team from the 2 games that we've watched has been SRG. Like, SRG are the better fundamental team. They just know how to set up for neutral objectives, especially early game way better. So Mythic Seal, this is the big question mark on them. Are they just a team that does well through team fighting and coming back in mid to late? What if SRG, again, get a lead similar to game 1, but have a better composition to siege and end the game?
Yeah, because even when we saw the Moskov fall into the hands of Mythic Seal, and they did attempt to manage the macro every now and then, which I feel was a bit successful in a sense. Majority of the prowess from Mythic Seals comes or stems from their abilities to just prolong, defend, and fight back.
It's mechanics.
It's just mechanics that we're seeing from Mythic Seal. So
in just a bit, we're going to be seeing the draft for game number 3. You are waiting alongside us for what has been a fantastic series so far. So if you have time, hop onto your game right now. Open up your MLBB client and do the All-Star 2025 Dino Planet activities available if you haven't opened up your eggs, if you haven't done the little dinosaur jumping across, claim
dice roll.
the dice roll. Claim everything that you can claim through the event so that you don't miss out on the Proto Hunter Bubble and Koopa skin that I know I will be definitely missing out on unless if anyone from Moonton wants to make it magically appear in my account.
Or Moonton, you
But
can
no,
make it buyable.
Hmm?
Make it buyable.
Or maybe like down the line.
He got the Jawhead already, though.
Yeah, but
I haven't
had to
even
get
gone
the,
to Jawhead
I had to get the pass for that. There's a Dino Planet pass as well.
Yeah. We saw
Go
the
for it.
Jawhead skin here in MSC also by Louise, I believe.
They lost, though.
And it was
yeah.
a loss.
Yeah, 0% win rate so far. But hey, don't worry. Zetian was at a 0% win rate yesterday. 100% for Juicin. Now, today the Juicin has just been winning games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Zetian has not appeared at all.
Not-
Not banned, not picked.
Teams
So
are
I-
finally realizing, you know what? You know what?
Yeah, maybe we can get let go over it. It might be better to just get the Kimmy and
Yeah.
the Juice in. And I think, going back to what we mentioned earlier, that might be the main focal point trade. Kimmy, Juice, and Farsa, going around those three.
agree.
I feel like Valentina is in a weird, awkward spot right now that
Yeah.
it's very, very selective of where you can pick her. But if you pick her at the right time, at the right composition, she could do some absolute monstrous things. So other than that, what are we feeling here for the picks, the orders? What do you think we could see?
Juicin Prio, I think that has to be the big the big change now because it's not a pattern anymore. We saw Juicin picked up game 1 by Mythic Seal, and so far Juicin has only lost one
Yeah.
game this tournament.
I agree.
Throughout 3 days, one game.
I agree. Unless they decide to change things up in the bans, which allows for other picks to be open. Because if yesterday the Kalea has always been prioritized, it has been banned all the time.
Yeah.
But things might actually change.
Yeah. I think SRG are actually going to put Mythic Seal in the difficult position. If ever that they open up the Kalea, it'll be up to Mythic Seal to decide whether or not they'll pick that
Yeah.
or the Kimmy or the Juicin as their first pick. It could also be a possibility of SRG falling back into an Arlott Fredrin combo that is easier to get if you're on the red side. So now this decision by Mythic Seal to put themselves on the blue side might actually be faring a little bit better for SRG. Because now there's so many decisions Mythic Seal has to consider depending on the bans of Selangor Giants.
Yeah.
So right now, I feel like the Farsa 2 might be open. Unless they ban it
text on
out
that too.
too. Because the bans have always been the Farsa, what was that? The Farsa, Kalea, Arlott or Uranus.
Yeah.
But right now, all of these things are still open. So I actually might have to agree with you. The first pick will be very important for Mythic Seal because I feel like a lot will be left open
Yeah.
in this game.
It's the last ban of Mythic Seal and the last ban of SRG. I think this is why Mythic Seal are really taking their time considering their options. With SRG, they can deny a combo or a power pick. Either or could be good for Mythic Seal. But whatever happens, SRG will have to clap back right away with their last ban. This will really dictate the draft.
I agree.
So Farsa has actually been left open.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they ban the Kalea. Mythic Seal are signaling it's like, we want the Farsa, we want the Juice in either of those two.
So SRG, I think they just go for the trade, right? I think it's a bit too risky for them to not go for the trade, to just ban one.
Or what if they... Oh,
Skimming is a good option too. I think we're all leaning towards the idea that whatever Mythic Skill has, it just needs to be super impactful for Nico. Juicin, Farsa, Kimmy, any of those three. I don't think SRG will focus on a mid ban at this point. They might look for a... Okay, yeah, a
Arlott,
Bluetooth
yeah.
3 ban. Could have been a Bluetooth 3 Arlott, so... Mythic Seal, this first pick is going to dictate the rest of the draft.
Here we go.
So
Will it be the
much-
Farsa or the Juicin? I think
Yeah.
Juicin a bit more flexible, but Farsa... Do you really want to go up against that with a Juicin? You know, that damage, artillery, especially without Arlott.
because the Lancelot and the Joy are both open still.
Yeah, SRG can rush Moskov if ever it's a Farsa.
And then they prio the Joy. Oh, wait!
They force SRG to make the choice. They're like, all right, you go.
Oh.
We'll just go with our comfort, which is Lancelot. Interesting. Not the Joy
Not
after
the
that
Joy.
game.
Yeah.
So it's SRG who has to decide for now. Other than that, though, I don't think Cram wants to use the Uranus. I just have a feeling they're not gonna be picking that.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
They go juice in.
Okay.
And that leaves the choice for Mythic Seal.
Should be the Farsa.
Yeah, but that makes the first two picks of SRG really good. Both divers in a way are Juicin and Moskov. Usually we see the Moskov as the response to a composition that is playing around the Farsa. So I think whatever Mythic Seal will draft, I think they should not lean too heavily into the team fighting here. They need at least one option that can split and open up the map well as the Moskov can.
Yeah, and Mythic Seal will... If they go Farsa, they can't go... Okay, they go Badang for Boye. They don't actually go for Farsa. So we will see Farsa completely ignored in Game 3.
Yeah, because this is a Nico mid lane, Kimmy. Interesting, but... yeah,
Signature Boye at least.
Yeah, signature. But they are leaning towards team fighting. Okay, that's my only note going to be now for Mythic Seal, so I don't have to repeat it later. Just make sure you take care of your macro.
Yeah.
This is also a really good way to shut down the Joy pick. That we saw very far away already for SRG. Like, it was going to be the Joy up against a Lancelot here. If you just want to go assassin. So Badang usually is already a good way to deal with it.
So now I feel like we're gonna be looking at the EXP matchup, which is gonna matter a lot for both of these teams, because the CC is still there for SRG, and they're the first ones picking after the bans if they want to replicate what they've been doing for the past 2 games. Or no, yeah, because like the CC's been working really well for them if you look at it. So it's been the one always dodging the fist break, fist cracks too. And now we see that in Mythic Seals again. But let's see if Mythic Seals lets that through, because they have a chance to take it out and change the dynamics of the EXP lane matchup.
Yeah, good Harith ban. There you go from SRG, taking away a counter against the Joy. They've already picked up Moskov as well. Yeah, the CC gets taken out, so... Cram. I'm gonna have to think about heroes for him, because he has just been doing better on carry heroes over you know, the Uranus's enabler picks.
Yeah, it can't be someone who stays in the back. It needs to be someone to front, someone that he can spam recalls with. Like, go up front, spam recall, put the sleeping liquid sticker up.
So maybe the Hilda could be an option,
yeah.
if they really want to go for a team fight.
Then that puts the pressure onto Yums to go for a harder tank, or at least follow-up. They can go Hilda, Gatot, Gacha. So you put the Hilda on Crime, you put the Gatot, Gacha on Yums. Plus, a Gatot could still potentially slot there for Mythic Seal at the EXP. However, it is a very rare option. We usually see the Gatot, Gacha now as a roam.
Yeah.
They're respecting the flex potential. There you go. They actually ban out the Franco. They think the Badang might not go to the hands of Boye. Could still be a signature Mythic Seal Badang Gatot Kacha move.
I will do it again.
There we go. Let's go.
As the official preacher of the Church
What?
of Akai.
Oh.
Put Akai in the EXP lane.
For Mythic Seal?
No, yeah, for Mythic Seal.
Yep.
Put your Badang on the roam, put Akai in the EXP.
If they want to secure the first few neutral objectives, actually, I agree with you. And it's great against Joy. You already have one way to beat it. Put in one more.
So this is going to be a surprise if Mythic Seals does not actually play from behind and just actually win.
It's going to be a Hilda for the last pick of SRG. So you go Gatot Kacha and Brody or even Beatrix at this point.
Oh, wait. Yeah.
I don't know about that. Zippy. It's good in lane against the Moskov, the Brody. The Beatrix is a skill matchup. But do you want to go without a Purify? Without it?
And then this is where they bring out the Bruno.
They go Granger and Glue. There you go.
Okay, less crazy.
Less crazy, more orthodox. But yeah, this is a perfect setup for Hilda XP. Like, this could not have played better into SRG's plan to go Hilda.
Yeah.
Lance, Kimmy, and Granger, that's food for the Hilda. But I guess the Glue could be the way to... I think Mythic Seal, they're thinking, all right, we're going up against the Hilda either way. We have enough peel to deal with the Hilda, is what they're thinking. Yeah, probably.
But it seems like they're still thinking.
Yeah, because of the peel, because of the Glue too. If you go Hilda here, yes, you can counter these 3 picks in the Lance. There you go, yeah.
Look at that.
They need anti-CC. They're scared of the Glue mount.
Yeah. You needed the Raging Slash, a CC immune on the Lapu Lapu when using Bravest Fighter and the Raging Slash. Great last pick, Swerve, and this allows Cram to do Cram things.
Yes.
Carry, stay
Carry
in
picks.
front, and set things up. It needs a lot of communication from these two. Thank you for joining us so far. This has been a fantastic start to day number 3 of MSC at EWC. Remember, who wins this series secures the first slot into the knockout stages. Will it be the defending champions Selangor Red Giants, or will it be the champions of Myanmar in Mythic Seal? Wherever you are, make some noise and show your love for these two teams, because I'm sure this will be an absolute banger.
We agree here, me and Brig, for your second official, hopefully, crazy bang bang game. Because I don't know, game 2 was bang bang Rooney, game 1 was too, but I want this to be the more of like game 2 where both of them fight back, not just a one comeback sweep. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You heard what Renmar said. We're getting straight into the land of Dawn with Natan flying in the air to bring us right here.
Yep. I want them to bring in the unexpected for this game. I don't want it to be a replica of the flow for the first 2 games, wherein it's always Mythic Seals playing from behind and just forced to defend up until the objective. But we'll see if they're able to do just that with the minimal amount of time to reset. Okay, there you go. Very aggressive start again from Mythic Seals.
Early flicker burnt out for Stormy here. And Mythic Seal will just utilize this. That's going to be a pickup. Whoa.
What are you doing for Stormy? There's so
Ken's
much
walking up again.
pressure. Yeah, but okay, that's the thing. They cleared the minion wave too early on, but this is the matchup we've been talking about. I feel even in the draft, finally a Lapu Lapu returns up against the glue, and I feel like it's gonna fare pretty well for Cram, but doesn't take the fact that it doesn't take away the fact that it's annoying. Like, the glue is gonna be annoying whatever you do.
Very annoying. Anyway, it will be very, very annoying. So for SRG, they got to be careful. Whoever gets mounted, it'll be very tough to deal with here, especially considering, again, Gatakacha, immobile roamer. If you go in with an AOG, or if you get mounted, you can't even use the AOG. I think like the glue will just stop those AOGs constantly once you channel it.
Yeah, the amount of crowd control that Mythic Seal can put to stop you, almost put in early kill onto Zippy. Things are looking good, but on the mid lane, they traded out Stormy as well.
Yeah, so they get a trade. It's going to be Zippy for Stormy, but that means Mythic Seal can capitalize straight off the bat with a turtle start. Their first turtle in a game.
In the series!
Yeah, in the series. Ladies and gentlemen, game 1 and game 2, they lost the first neutral objective battles. This time, it changes. Mythic Seal have gotten a bit more value than SRG early on.
That's what we're saying. That's a clear change in approach from Mythic Seal. They no longer want to just let go of the objectives as much as they can. Boye has the Fist Crack but won't use it just yet. That's enough for Fumes to be forced to recall though. This is really great pressure coming in from Mythic Seal so far. Except the fact that Zippy was taken out in the bottom lane.
But it's all right. The thing is about the Granger is right, the fact that, yes, you can get solo killed, you can get ganked, you can die, but you're still not going to be behind of your laner. Why? Gold Crab. You almost had like 90% Gold Crab take. That's going to be AOG over to the back now. Zippy!
Only knocking up Nico though, and Zippy, again for the second time around, gets taken down, but a beautiful Thorn Throws catching 2 members from SRG.OG. Again, Boye gets the double kill though.
Unfortunate for Mythic Seal. You would not want those kills to be on Boye, but technically it's still a good trade. See, now it's weird because like, is it a good trade? You got Zippy. I think that, you know what, just because Boye got the kills, I'll say it's worth it for SRG, all right?
Okay.
Because it's a kill on goal. We were just talking about this. You can be behind on the Granger and you can still come back, but that doesn't mean you go 0-2, right? 0-1, sure. 0-2, that's the limit. If you go 0-3, that should be where it ends for you still being able to hold the lead through Gold Crab and minions.
Yeah, it could have been somehow balanced out if some of those went to Zippy or to the damage dealers for Mythic Seal, but then again, it will still allow Mythic Seal to keep the pressure going. This is going to be another very confident game from Boye, and we're seeing it time and time again. Now even Kun doing a lot to annoy not just Cram, but now even the other members of SRG. This is where they intend to fight. They want to bank on the idea that they can really make use of their team fight capabilities considering their lineup.
It's mid-prio. Stormy sent that as well. Nico, immobilization. Stormy pinned down, has a Crimson Beacon, gets away. Yums!
Oh, uses the AOG but knocks up no one.
Wow.
And somehow Kun gets to find Stormy. Will be successful in terms of taking him down with the help of Nico. But that's already one man down for SRG. And look at that Flicker Fist Spray coming in from Boye. Fist Crack launch just in time. Sekai's is the next target.
Kun is clean on this glue. Wow, what a rotation by Innocent landing the SOD. Did you see that mini sidestep from Kun to dodge away from the second skill of Joy?
Yeah.
Clean gaming and great response from Boye to punish a no mobility Joy at that point because he missed that skill. Now Mythic Seal the ones capitalizing on a turret up top, and they could break the mold. The pattern that has been Mythic Seal do better from behind.
Mythic Seals have been scary when they've been very consistent in terms of taking back the lead when playing from behind. But this version of Mythic Seals seems a lot more terrifying for me because they're able to do this great of a job in the early stages of the game up against SRG.OG and even being the first ones to convert into a structure. So it's actually SRG who's behind right now.
Be careful. Look at that, right? By the way, this is what we were talking about. Look at the Granger. 0, 2, and 2 still. Oh, the cancels constantly. Yums unable to pop the AOG. Finally gets it. But you can see the gold lead.
Yep.
0-2, no problem. He's still just 100 gold behind, which means it's practically nothing here as they clear the wave and they're looking to go for the die. Traction Pulse.
Oh, they find Stormy somehow, but Sekai's will try to disturb the members in the backline once again, looking for Zippy. There's the knockback coming in from Boye, but Sekai's still gets to walk away. So, again, going back to your point, yes.
Hey, Zippy, 0-2, not 0-3, man. 0-2 is the limit. Now he's past the limit. Now it's SRG's turn to think. This is also Riyadh White. Oh, wait a minute. They're just going to mount. Oh, that's a lot of damage. No, they still have to respect the anti-CC. Yeah, this is why.
Yeah.
You say it's scarier. In a way it is, but in a way, it's scarier as the Mythic Seal fans too, for the Burmese people that are like, oh my god, they're ahead. They might throw.
Yep. That could be a potential angle to look at because Cram goes in with the bravest fighter looking for a fight. Oh, but Flicker's out instead, so he won't have the Flicker for this upcoming objective if ever they do want to contest.
Should be a free one, but Innocent is building up, and this is just giving me a lot of flashbacks to the M6 World Championship when they were up against CFU, down, losing in the early game, but then Innocent came in with one SOD, one Innocent moment, turned things around.
I think I remember that moment. But then Mythic Seals, they're gonna be careful for now. I think they too are well aware of the fact that even when things are looking to be good, Innocent has been managing the waves well, and their gold laner hasn't been in the best position so far. There's always Sekai's hunting him down. So even if you want to think that they could do well in terms of prolonged team fights, Sekai's just denies them of that because they immediately eliminate one of their major damage sources. So that 100 gold lead that existed earlier has just ballooned into a lot more and could grow into more if they don't get to watch out for Zippy from this point onwards.
The big win condition right now is a capital INNOCENT for Selangor Red Giants OG Esports, and that's what they're banking on. They're just holding the other side of the map. Every time Mythic Seal make a play, make a move, they send Innocent to play cross map, get minions.
Yeah.
Now for Mythic Seal, can they stop that from happening by either going bot, catching Innocent, or pulling off a 4v5 and winning before Innocent gets there?
Yeah. I mean, Ken was already there, so Innocent didn't try to force a fight, knowing that there was Ken. So it seems like they're trying to actually respond to the pressure right now. If you look at where Boye and Ken are going, they find Innocent. That happened in just the blink of an eye, by the way.
Yeah, just like in game number 2 when SRG were the ones to beat or to kill Zippy on the Moskov, now Mythic Seal do the same thing. The Lancelot's so mobile, and the Badang's so good. Oh, wait!
Oh, forced to use the flicker because they have no Crimson Beacon. Stormy, that's 2 kills for Mythic Seal, and they have a Lord. They can take this Lord if they want to. Still, Sekai's is alive, however, so they might want to engage in a fight instead. Yums has the AOG as well, but will they decide to go for it? Sekai is already being poked down pretty low. Oh, Crab jumps in!
Oh! Get in the back, that's a Spirit of Misery from Innocent, but all of them are down. It's just Cram. His Brave of Spider cancel, almost a steal from Innocent, but Ken secures it with Retribution now. It's Cram mounted on. Zippy finally gets those stacks racking up. 3 in a span of 1 team fight. Mythic Seal are well and truly the ones holding a position to send SRG down, but mainly to make it to the knockouts. Man, Ken on the Lancelot. Whenever he picks a hero in game 1, everybody should just settle and say, all right, that's what he's going to be playing the entire series, because he gets better every game.
Yeah, and honestly, you see how Yums struggled in terms of using the AOG at that moment too. Like, Boye timed his crowd control skills so well, which denied SRG of that potential knockup, because those 3 members which were left, Cram, Sekais, and Yums, they clearly seemed like they wanted to contest, but hold on, Ken! Will he be able to get himself out of this? It's a no, but Cram!
Okay, they go for the Brave of Spider in. Innocent gets a shutdown. The flashbacks.
The flashbacks.
Flashbacks, M6 all over again. Just a different team though. Mythic Seal, you cannot afford to be doing those things up against Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. They're a team that knows how to punish every small mistake. And that wasn't a small mistake. That was a pretty big one. That's a bounty to the pockets of Innocent on Moscow.
If I were Mythic Seal, I probably would not want to pick a fight in the purple buff of SRG.OG, or in any position where you sense the connection too. I mean, it's just Cram who could give Innocent all the information. And to be fair, that SOD which landed on the objective earlier was a very close call. Like, that could have been something, or that could have been a steal, but now they go for Yums. Will he cast the AOG though? He gets to. And Sekais does not find the kill on Zippy this time.
But you can still see the damage racking up. Like, SRG are building towards some crazy damage in the late game with the Joy and the Moskov. Question is, will it be enough? Can they get an angle on Zippy and Nico? So far, they have been able to get on Zippy. Nico has been very good in the back. So, yeah, damage dealt here. Wow, it's actually Karam amongst the Mythic Seal boys.
That's high. 38,000. I mean, even from the very beginning, we saw just how much he wanted to maximize that passive from the Kimmy. And to be fair, I feel like Nico has less problems to think about compared to Zippy. Like, Sekais has his eyes set on Zippy and not Nico. But that can potentially backfire too. Nico still is a decent source of damage, and if any, he's the one who's always forcing out the Crimson Beacons. He's the one always pressuring Stormy, and if you actually look at Stormy, this isn't such a good position to be in as the Jushin.
Ken has done a good job at, managing the waves down below, so it'll be a slow push here with a 4.5k Goldie for Mythic Seal. They want a team fight. They're confident in winning a team fight. They have been winning team fights. Let's see if they can do it again. Innocent in the bottom lane has the SOD. Mythic Seal prepping for this one. Yums with an angle, but Kun goes in. Phantom Execution!
That hurt!
What?
They get to burst down Yums with just the pressure from Kun and the Phantom Execution.
Nice.
Now, how will they try and attempt to contest this Lord? The SOD does not land. Ken will have all the time in the world to focus on his opponents, and he takes the Lord along with it.
Everyone falling, only Innocent here getting a trade, getting something on the map. He does get it, but look at Nico, he wants to cancel it. He will be able to do it. Innocent jumps in with the step, goes into the base. Oh my Lord, Innocent! Walks it over, gets a kill! Cannon minion! Innocent! He cannot do it, not in time, the base open! He's tried everything to save this game. There's another wave now in the bottom lane. Innocent looking for clear. Kun holding it. Can he do it?
There's the Lord. It has already spawned. They might have some time. They might get to buy
This
some
man.
time. And he forces a reaction out of the other members. Will he actually go for the SOD?
Oh no.
There's the magic
takes
sentry.
it!
Oh, he just goes for it, but boy!
Finds the pin. Innocent down. Ken on the purple buff. Cram jumps in with the bravest fighter. The Lord still in the mid lane. He utilizes the second part of it. That's a Thorn Rose by Ken. A pin down again. Cram flickers out. And Mythic Seal have all the tools necessary to utilize this Lord of the mid lane. Ken!
Okay, can actually deal with Cram. Just needs one more hit. Boye gets it. Sekai's, Yums, and Stormy, the trio mid, they're the ones who have the responsibility of holding things down and holding things together. But Yums, he won't be able to knock up anyone.
They're gonna go for the base! Silago Red Giants, OG Esports, fall to the dark horse. That is the Mythic Seal planted in